The sugar diet. In today's video, I'm going to provide you all of the nuance and the context that you need to know before you get brainwashed with all the sugar diet information that's about to be flooding your social media news feed as well as your feed on YouTube. So I just found out about this diet yesterday, and one quick YouTube search, I went into YouTube, typed in the search bar, the sugar diet, and I saw some very influential people talking about the sugar diet and how it's essentially been the best thing for them. It's helped them break their weight loss plateaus and achieve incredible results and all this amazing stuff. So let's go ahead and let's dive into the context and the nuance. Matter of fact, that the nuance is the missing piece. So what we strive to do here at The Educated Dieter, our nutritional coaching company, is we actually want to teach our clients to become advocates for their own health, to essentially learn how to manage their metabolism for the rest of their life. What is the sugar diet? The sugar diet, as I understand it, and again, just found out about it yesterday, but I've been doing some background digging to try to figure out what these guys are freaking talking about, because I've been a huge advocate of carbohydrates now for the last 15 to 20 years, and I think you have to intelligently manipulate them in order to continue to see fat oxidation. The leanest people in the world, they're very good at carbohydrate cycling and utilizing glucose as a means to keep the metabolism thriving and surviving during prolonged periods of fat loss. So first and foremost, what is the sugar diet? 24-hour time period, think about a timeline. In the beginning of the day, you are going very low fat, very high carbohydrate. And a lot of these individuals are kind of bragging that they are eating candy again and they're eating a bunch of sugar, and as long as there's no fat attached to the sugar. Some of these other individuals are completely avoiding protein. So they're calling it like sugar fasting. They're avoiding protein, but some people are actually adding in very lean types of protein, maybe egg whites or white fish or a chicken breast or something like that. The second part of the day, though, is a complete opposite. So what they're doing is they're going high fat, high protein, zero carbohydrates. In and of itself, what is the sugar diet? It is high carb, low fat in the morning, as much sugar as you want. Second part of the day, high fat, high protein, no sugar. So let's dive into why I think this is potentially working for some of them. Now, a lot of the individuals that you're going to see blowing up all across your news feed talking about this are previous ketogenic and carnivore style dieters. What that means is they've been on low carbohydrates for a very prolonged period of time, likely experiencing the benefits of a low carbohydrate diet, which are reducing blood glucose, being very insulin sensitive, reducing A1C, a 3-month average of your blood sugar, and also reducing insulin, as well as reducing inflammation, which it is very good for those specific things. Now, on the other side of that, they've been doing the diet for likely the last 12, 24, or even 36 months. So they've been in a ketogenic low carbohydrate diet for a very long period of time. Some of them even writing books about it. Right? We have the Carnivore Code, we've got the War on Carbohydrates, we've got all these specific books that have been written by individuals that, hey, guess what? They're no longer eating the way that they ate when they wrote the book, because of the fact that they've realized that they actually need carbohydrates to fuel some of the most beneficial metabolically active processes. And so what I want to teach you really quick, the importance of carbohydrates. And again, I've been somebody that's talked about carbohydrates forever. You could look back my entire Instagram feed. I've talked about carbohydrates and the benefit of them ever since I got online, which is like 2,700 posts ago. Here we go. We've got glucose. Okay, now this can be sugar, this can be carbohydrates, it can be high glycemic, low glycemic, whatever. We've got glucose in and of itself. Glucose sends signals to your fat loss hormone called leptin. Now, leptin concentrations can be elevated and they can be reduced. In a leptin elevated situation, your body is sending positive pulsatility frequencies and signals to your thyroid. Now, your thyroid can be both positively influenced and negatively influenced, and based off of whether it's positively or negatively influenced, it then sends signals to either upregulate your metabolic rate or how many calories you can burn, or reduce your metabolic rate and how many calories you can burn. So you can see here that carbohydrates serve a very important purpose. I would also mention, I don't have it circled because I think it's kind of like a secondary, But implementing carbohydrates into your diet can actually help you better manage systemic stress, or what's referred to as allostatic load. Too much stress, and guess what happens? You end up on the wrong side of the curve, and now your body's actually fighting you because there's too much stress accumulation. I want to remind you that carbohydrates serve a very valuable purpose. Now, we can decide if we want to burn more calories or burn less calories depending on how many carbohydrates you consume. These guys that are ranting and raving about the sugar diet have been low carbohydrate dieters for a long period of time, and many of them have actually stalled out in their fat loss journey. So what that means is they started carnivore, they started keto, they started a modified keto, they created whatever diet they thought worked the best for them for a lot of specific reasons I mentioned earlier. They have really good satiety, they're eating enough protein to keep the lean body mass, their blood sugar levels are stable so they feel great all the time, and those are all great reasons to support a low carbohydrate diet. However, when they're re-implementing these carbohydrates, what do you think is happening? Because they're so insulin sensitive, the carbohydrates are basically being shuttled in, they are upregulating leptin, and they are re-stimulating their metabolism that ultimately helps them burn more calories and get leaner. They're basically implementing a diet break after a long period of low carbohydrate dieting, going from one energy substrate, which is ketones, and using body fat as fuel. That's kind of shut down. Now they're implementing a different energy substrate, glycogen, dropping stress and increasing their metabolic rate, which is allowing them the opportunity to keep burning body fat. This is no different than taking a diet break or a prolonged diet break after a long period of excessive dieting. Now, I'd also mention that a lot of these gentlemen that you're going to be seeing that are going to be talking about the sugar fasting and the sugar diet, they're also on PEDs. So for what it's worth, I don't believe that it's going to be a good long-term sustainable approach for a lot of people, and I just wanted to make a video about it to basically be one of the first ones that can talk about it, just to provide you guys some level of awareness and also create some responsibility for you not to see a brand new diet with a brand new wrapper on it, a brand new bow, and think, oh, that's the thing that I need to do, because that's not the truth. The truth is we've always been able to use carbohydrates. We've always been able to cycle carbohydrates. We've always been able to use diet breaks. We've always been able to diet intelligently. And you guys have the opportunity to do that right now without doing the sugar diet. And so closing this video out, I simply just want to let you know that the reason why a lot of these gentlemen are breaking their plateaus and they're talking about how amazing their diet is because they've actually reactivated their metabolism and their opportunity for their physiology to oxidize more body fat. So if you guys have any questions or concerns about this, or you want to drop your input, because this is just something that I just learned about, and as far as I know, there's a couple of very influential guys on YouTube talking about it. They're doing podcasts about it. They're creating 2-3 videos a day talking about it because they want it to take over, right? But if you understand nutritional sciences through and through, you will not be persuaded into trying another diet that you think is going to be your quick fix. Rather, learn the value of carbohydrates and how you can use them in your daily life to be able to keep your metabolism healthy and keep oxidizing body fat. If you have any questions for me, just go ahead and shoot those over in the DM and I'd be more than happy to answer them for you. I've been doing a walk and talk every morning and I'd be more than happy to answer your questions when I'm doing my walk and talk. Have an amazing rest of your day. God bless you guys, and I'll talk to you soon.